Georgie and Mandy's first marriage images set up Mary's latest appearance in Feud with Audrey. As young Sheldon continues to evolve through Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, CBS is crafting a clever bridge between the spin-off's lighter comedic tone and The Big Bang Theory's complex emotional legacy. Newly released images from the upcoming season of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage not only tease Mary Cooper's return, but also hint at a renewed rivalry that could reignite her long-standing feud with Audrey M.C. Allister. What was once a side plot in young Sheldon, rooted in parental disapproval and small-town tension, is now shaping up to become one of the emotional centerpieces of the new show. The photos show Mary Zoe Perry back in Texas, sharing tense glances with Audrey Rachel Bay Jones during what appears to be a family gathering gone slightly off the rails. But these are no ordinary reunion snapshots. Each one drips with the kind of discomfort that young Sheldon fans have come to associate with the Coopers' messy, well-intentioned family drama. From the stiff posture between the mothers to Georgie's nervous smile in the background, the imagery sets the stage for a clash that's as inevitable as it is deeply personal. The setup: two mothers, one family torn by expectations. In young Sheldon, Mary Cooper's faith and values often collided with reality, particularly when it came to her children's choices. When Georgie Montana Jordan got Mandy Emily Osment pregnant out of wedlock, Mary struggled to reconcile her beliefs with her love for her son. It was one of the show's most heartfelt arcs, showing Mary's slow but sincere journey from judgment to acceptance. But Audrey M.C. Allister wasn't so quick to forgive or forget. Audrey, a sharp-tongued and stubborn Texas mom, saw the situation from a completely different perspective. To her, Georgie represented irresponsibility, an obstacle in her daughter's future. That tension became one of young Sheldon's most quietly powerful storylines. It was about pride, religion, reputation, and the ways small-town families often get trapped in their own expectations. Now, years later, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is revisiting that tension, but with a twist. Both families are older, supposedly wiser, and bound together by baby Cease and the life Georgie and Mandy have built. Yet the wounds never fully healed. And as the new images show, the minute Mary and Audrey are in the same room again, the polite smiles start to crack. Why the images matter: in one still, Mary sits at a dinner table with her hands clasped tightly, while Audrey stands behind her, clearly mid-sentence, looking animated. The body language is unmistakable. Mary's patience is being tested. Another image shows Mandy trying to diffuse what appears to be a rising argument, with Georgie caught awkwardly between the two women. This is more than just a family dinner gone wrong. It's a symbolic continuation of the Big Bang Theory's larger Cooper narrative. Mary Cooper's identity has always been tied to her family's behavior, and her scenes with Audrey are a mirror of her own moral rigidity. Where the Big Bang Theory explored her strained dynamic with Sheldon, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is diving deeper into the cracks that formed long before Sheldon ever left Texas. If young Sheldon was Mary's crisis of faith, this new series may be her reckoning. Mary Cooper's emotional evolution. One of the great triumphs of young Sheldon was how it humanized Mary. On The Big Bang Theory, Laurie Metcalf's portrayal made her a comedic force of nature, sharp, devout, and sometimes unyielding. But Zoe Perry, her real-life daughter, gave the younger Mary emotional depth. She was a mother torn between doctrine and devotion, desperate to protect her children, but uncertain how to love them through their flaws. By the time young Sheldon ended, Mary had lost her husband, watched her family fracture, and seen her children scatter. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage gives her a rare chance at a fresh start. Yet the reemergence of Audrey M.C. Allister threatens to pull her backward into old patterns of judgment and pride. These new images show that Mary's evolution is far from over. She's older and perhaps softer around the edges, but when confronted by someone like Audrey, who pushes every button Mary has, it's clear that her faith and her temper are still intertwined. The show appears ready to explore whether Mary can finally separate her need to be right from her need to be kind. Audrey M.C. Allister, the perfect foil. Rachel Bay Jones' Audrey has always been a brilliant counterpoint to Mary. While Mary's worldview is built on religion and structure, Audrey's is driven by control and appearances. Both mothers believe they know what's best for their children, and both have been proven wrong before. Their feud isn't just about Georgie and Mandy. It's about what happens when two strong-willed women realize they're mirrors of each other. In the new photos, Audrey looks more polished and put together than ever, suggesting she's doing well, or at least pretending to. She's the kind of woman who would insist she's over it while still seething beneath the surface. If Mary's storyline is about forgiveness, Audrey's may be about resentment. That contrast is exactly what Georgie and Mandy's first marriage needs to balance its warm family comedy with real emotional weight. These are women with history, with scars that polite conversation can't hide. And when the show throws them together, viewers can expect both laughter and heartbreak in equal measure. The family fallout. The impact of the Mary-Audrey feud won't just stay between them. Georgie and Mandy are caught in the middle of a generational conflict that could define their young marriage. Georgie, still eager to prove he's grown up, will likely try to mediate, but in true Cooper fashion that may only make things worse. Mandy, meanwhile, has evolved from a sarcastic young woman into a fiercely devoted mother. She's learned to stand up for herself and for Georgie, even when her parents disapproved. The sight of her mother and mother-in-law clashing again could trigger old insecurities and test the boundaries of her newfound confidence. And then there's baby Cease, the silent witness to all this chaos. Though she's far too young to understand the tension, the show's tone suggests that Georgie and Mandy's parenting decisions may become another battleground for Mary and Audrey. Will Cease be raised more Cooper or more MC Allister? The humor practically writes itself, but beneath it lies a heartfelt truth. Family can be both the greatest source of love and the deepest source of pain. A bridge between eras. If young Sheldon served as the connective tissue between the Big Bang Theory's past and the Cooper's future, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage looks poised to explore what comes after grief. The show has an opportunity to show how the Coopers rebuild themselves after losing George Sr., and how they learn to coexist as their children form new families. Mary's reappearance isn't just nostalgic, it's necessary. Her character represents the emotional continuity of the franchise. She's the link between Sheldon's intellectual world and Georgie's down-to-earth Texas life. Seeing her navigate this next chapter, facing someone like Audrey again, offers fans a new lens into how deeply interconnected these stories really are. Even visually, the promotional images seem to echo the tonal balance young Sheldon mastered so well. There's warmth and humor in the setting, a homey Texas kitchen, mismatched furniture, and family photos on the wall, but also an undercurrent of tension. Every detail feels designed to remind fans that love and conflict can share the same table. What it means for the series going forward, the upcoming Mary-Audrey storyline could redefine the show's tone moving forward. While Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is primarily billed as a family sitcom, the inclusion of Mary introduces a more emotional, generational depth. It's no longer just about a young couple figuring out marriage. It's about what happens when two families merge, bringing their baggage with them. If handled with the same care that young Sheldon applied to its family dynamics, this conflict could become the show's backbone. It offers a space to explore themes like forgiveness, tradition versus progress, and the weight of parental influence. And with actors like Zoe Perry and Rachel Bay Jones, the emotional nuance is guaranteed. The bigger picture, Mary's legacy in the Cooper universe.